Good morning, it's Katie from wellnessmama.com. I don't know about you guys, I had a long night last night with a teething baby, and so today is definitely a coffee kind of morning. And last time I did a video, a lot of people asked questions about coffee and why you would put butter in coffee or coconut oil in coffee. So I figured it would be easiest just to show you guys my morning routine. I definitely don't drink coffee every day, and this same exact thing can actually be done with tea, including herbal teas. So a lot of times I'll do this with, instead of coffee, like you can see I have rooibos tea right here, I'll do it with that, or even with herbal tea like chamomile or something like that. Hi to everyone who's joining. Again, if you just joined, it's Katie from wellnessmama.com, and we're talking about coffee. And I would love to hear in the comments what you do, if you drink coffee, don't drink coffee, if you drink tea, if you don't drink tea, and how you take it, because it seems like a pretty common beverage for most of the world. In fact, I think coffee is the most consumed beverage in the world after water. So anyway, the reason behind this is a similar version to what you may have seen from Dave Asprey of the Bulletproof Executive, and he has his own line of coffee and MCT oil. I've actually got his, you can see right there. But the idea is that by adding certain fats like MCT and butter, it actually increases the cognitive effects of the coffee, and so that it basically gives you a brain boost. And I definitely noticed that from this. So let's see, somebody says they love the idea of tea, somebody needs to avoid caffeine. Totally get that. I usually do when I'm pregnant. And I'll stick to herbal teas at that point, but I feel like this, just adding these simple ingredients, is a way to add some protein to the coffee and some beneficial fats, as well as a major energy boost, even if you're not drinking caffeine. So basically what I do is I get a cup of coffee. That cup is actually really true. It says, warning, I might be prone to shenanigans and malarkey. It actually forgot tomfoolery, and it's not might. I usually am prone to those things. So I put the coffee into the blender, then add, you can really experiment with this, about a tablespoon of MCT oil. And the one I'm using here today is actually this one. It's brain octane oil from Bulletproof Executive. It's extremely concentrated source of MCTs, but there's also some like this that's available on Amazon that's straight from coconuts. The one thing I would say with any kind of MCT oil is that you want to be careful of any that have palm in the ingredients, and if they do, like the Bulletproof one does, just make sure the sourcing is good, because the palm industry is a major source of killing in rainforests and orangutans, and so you want to make sure that's ethically sourced. And most of them will list it on the label now, but those are both brands that I found that are good. Someone asked, what is MCT oil? It stands for medium chain triglycerides, which they're a special structure of fat that are extremely easily digested and that basically go straight to your liver for energy. So that's part of the reason this coffee gives you so much energy. In fact, on days when I really need to be productive like today, and I was up all night with a baby, this is one of my things that I always do. Sammy says she always drinks rooibos tea with stevia. There's my rooibos tea right there. I love it too. Actually, I'm a tea junkie. I've got tons of it. Somebody asked, what are your thoughts on coffee with Hashimoto's? It's a great question. Some people do not do well with it at all. I've done a lot of autoimmune diets in the past and have found that coffee really doesn't seem to affect me, but it really does affect some people. So I would say listen to your body. Somebody asked, sensitivity to coconut products. Would you recommend butter alone? Yes, and you can actually use red palm oil. Also, we're getting interrupted by children, but you can use butter, you can use any kind of oil really, even avocado oil will work in there. You just want something that can emulsify. And the trick that a lot of people don't remember is you have to blend it in a blender. It'd be easier if you could just shake it, but to make sure it's creamy, you really want to blend it. So I also add about a tablespoon of butter, and an optional ingredient, if you do okay with it, is this. It's collagen. This is the brand I use. It's called Vital Proteins. I'll post a link to it in the comments. But basically, so collagen or collagen peptides, it's just an easily digestible form of collagen that doesn't gel. So gelatin is what you would use to make Jell-O, and it gels. Collagen does not gel, but that makes it perfect for blending into drinks. Somebody said, thoughts on coffee while pregnant? That's definitely a personal choice thing. My midwife and doctors in the past have been okay with limited amounts, but I typically do stick more to approved herbal teas when I'm pregnant. Somebody also mentioned using ghee instead of butter, and that's another great option, especially for anybody who's sensitive to dairy. Another thing I add sometimes is this mushroom coffee mix, just for a little extra energy, but I'm not adding that this morning, just sticking with the basics. Interruption. interruption by a 4-year-old. This is real life, guys. Tell them mommy said they can for 5 minutes. Yeah, real life parenting right there. Letting my kids watch a movie so I can make coffee. Okay, so anyway, basically you just blend it up until it's fully emulsified. So you'll see it change when that happens. It'll go from black Indian coffee to and see how it totally transformed and is now creamy instead of just black coffee. Let's see if I can give you guys a better view. It's really creamy and frothy, and this, when I've had to be off dairy and couldn't consume cream and stuff, this is the way I would do it. I would use ghee or just omit the butter and use MCT oil only, and it makes a really creamy coffee that you can't usually get without dairy of some kind. So yeah, any other quick questions? This is a quick video. You guys heard the interruptions from the kids, and I'm going to have a teething baby wanting to nurse in about 10 seconds. But I just wanted to show you guys my normal routine on that. Somebody asked real quick the ingredients again. So yeah, in case anyone just joined, it looks like we have some people who just hopped on. It's Katie from wellnessmama.com, and I'm just sharing my morning coffee routine. And so I just take basic coffee and add either brain octane oil from Bulletproof Exec or MCT oil. And those are both a really good source of fuel for the brain, and so they help with focus and mental energy on days like this where I've been up all night. I also sometimes add collagen powder, which is just a really easily digestible form of collagen and a lot of amino acids like proline and glycine, and it also blends into drinks. While somebody asked if MCT oil makes you jittery, no, but it did at first, especially if you add too much. And that's one caution I would give, is don't add very much MCT oil at first if you're not used to it. Dave Asprey calls it disaster pants, but it can definitely give you diarrhea. And then I also just add butter. Somebody asked where I buy this butter. This one came from Tropical Traditions. Okay, I'll be there in just a minute, honey. This one comes from Tropical Traditions, and it's made in Germany, but any high quality grass-fed butter will do. Do the brain octane and MCT oil have a flavor? No, they don't. They're pretty much tasteless. They have the benefits of coconut without the taste of coconut. Somebody asked why I was up all night teething baby. Okay, I'll be up there in a minute, honey. I'll be up there in just a second. Real life with 6 kids. Somebody asked what's the difference between MCT and coconut oil. So MCT is a concentrated form. Coconut oil contains medium chain triglycerides, but MCT is the concentrated form of that. Coconut oil also contains a lot of lauric acid, which is also beneficial. It's found in breast milk. So you could also just use plain coconut oil. You would get a little bit of a coconut taste, but it would work too. It just has some different benefits. All of these ingredients are available on Amazon, and I'll put links in the comments of this if anybody wants to see the exact ones I use. For coffee, I've kind of been experimenting lately, but I just, my main criteria are I look for organic when possible and also just ethically and fair traded. Somebody mentioned keto cream. I haven't tried it, but apparently this is a great product that you can add everything all together. Also, a random thing, I'll just do a plug for these, so I'll put a link to these as well. These are called Huck towels. They actually use them in hospitals. They're not pretty, they don't look good, but they work really, really well, and when you have a lot of kids and a lot of kitchen messes, those are a lifesaver. So anyway, that's my morning coffee routine. I would love if you would share in the comments what yours is, and I'll post a link, like I said, to everything I used and to the explanation. But thanks for stopping by and having coffee with me.